The Mad Dog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
Want to say greetings and good evening on an incredible Tuesday, and we hope you're enjoying a great Tuesday as well. Some call it a Takedown Tuesday. We can work with that hashtag. Live in a multiple location station, welcome into Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio. Here in Studio 1 behind Monitor 4, yours truly, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane, part of the GCW announce team. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome in my tag team partner. He is one half of the GCW and World Tag Team Champions, the one, the only Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. What's up, brother?
Just trying to hold in the road. I'm just glad to be back in great state of Alabama. Been on the tour there with the Arcadian group Friday and Saturday of this last weekend, and glad to be home and ready to talk a little Global Championship Wrestling.
Well, before we do, let me go ahead and a lot of people do know that you've been doing some work with Arcadian up in the volunteer state of Tennessee, but you've also been making moves over to our sister state to the west. You've been making appearances in Mississippi recently.
Yeah, I've been in Oklahoma and Valhalla, that's how you say the other name there. So, yep, we've been keeping the road hot, and actually chose Arcadian over Cape Girardeau, Missouri this last weekend. There was 2 days with Arcadian, so I chose Arcadian over driving 7.5 hours to work Trevor Murdoch. Murdoch and Cade back in the WWE days of 5 or 6 years ago.
Right. Remember them very well. We're a very promising team. Unfortunately, it's kind of like they just didn't seem to get the shakeout. That's one of the things about the e-product. Just when you think somebody's got a little bit of momentum, all of a sudden everything switches, and I don't know why. And that's one of the reasons why I give so much credit to what we are able to do with Global Championship Wrestling, because stars are given an opportunity to shine on their own merits and to build their own way, right?
Yeah, they are, but some people just want to sit on their laurels, and either you have an ego issue or just think that everybody else is going to do the job for them. But time to wake up, smell the coffee, the roses, whatever you want to smell, because if you're not promoting yourself and you're not promoting the show, you might as well find another place to work. And that is just, we're the biggest independent, show going. Been in Pell City for over 12 years. We've got a great following, one of the biggest constant crowds of any places. And I'm glad to be there, glad to have the office doing what they do. I'm glad for the promotion team to do what they do, commentating. There's a lot of people that make a thing happen, and it's not just one person. I was really just going to throw this one out there, going to cross the hell down mass, but I was really pissed off that some guy told him, was telling Kevin Fertig, Kevin Thorne, and David Heath Gangrel, and myself, and Chase Stevens, and Mike Attila, and several of the guys, that the house was thanks to him.
Oh.
And it wasn't even a good house. It was like 145 people. I'm like, what about the awful crowd yesterday, dude? I mean, come on. I was like, there is no I in team. And if you're a guy pushing the product, that's great. But what about the guys who've had the WrestleMania moments? Gangrel, Kevin Thorne, A lot of people don't remember, him as Mordecai or Malachi, whatever the gimmick was when he went against Taker. And, I mean, these guys are huge stars that have had action figures and everything else made after them. And can you not think that maybe that they're the reason that there's some people in the seats? Yeah. So if there was ever a person that worked for me like that, I would just have to, give them a pile driver with no protection.
And that is something that we have discussed on the Beyond Ringside family of shows in recent weeks, because in this day and age, in 2016, promotion is a true team effort. And everybody, it's almost like the good old-fashioned days. The internet is our street team to a great degree, but everybody has to be on the same page, and you're absolutely right. If you don't take the time to, I always sit back and say, when you properly promote the show, and this goes for EVERYBODY.
Everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Todd Rundgren's out there somewhere tonight. When you properly promote the show, you also promote yourself. Because when you push the show as a great place to be, people make that assimilation. They always do. And when they come and spend their hard-earned money to get in to enjoy that show, you have that opportunity to shine on a great stage. Agree or disagree?
I agree totally. But, guys that are not wanting to promote themselves, or they say, well, I work over here and I do this, and blah, 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 blah. That just really just irritates me to, you got guys that are really trying to do something. They believe in what we're doing. And the thing is, it's not just, I pretty much say all the guys that work for Global Championship Wrestling are not just weekend warriors. They work other places. And that's good. That's great. And we've got some guys coming in July the 30th. The superstar by the name of Dark Fury. He's been in CMLL in Mexico, and he's done a lot of Lucha Libre shows, but he's coming in and he's taking on Charles Anders, and everybody's going to be like, well, we never heard of him. You'll remember him. I promise you after this show. He's not just some guy from down the street in Choctaw County putting a mask on that he bought off of High Spot. Free plug there. But he's actually a Latino guy that wears a mask, wrestles regularly over in Ego for Mississippi. Met him on several little shows over that way, and hey, we're getting ready for the ride. And it's going to be good. There's a whole lot of stuff coming up, and it's like if we put it in a association to an amusement park ride, go ahead and just put your seatbelt on and strap in, because the ride's just about to take off.
Kind of like Darrell Waltrip would say when Fox has coverage for the races. And by the way, I don't know, I'm trying to remember, you are a NASCAR fan, right?
A little bit. I just never get a chance to watch it.
I think if everything works out this week, of course, I'll give you this one. We've discussed this one this past weekend. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is currently out with concussion-like symptoms as he's been diagnosed. Alex Bowman drove for him this past week, came in 24th at Loudon. And we're waiting to find out exactly what happens with his retest to see if he is cleared to drive, because if he is not cleared to drive this week at Indianapolis for the Brickyard, that means Jeff Gordon has volunteered to come out of retirement for the Indianapolis race. Not a bad little substitute for Dale Jr. there, huh?
I just think of the comedian, Jeff Gordon, the guy is gay. That guy just passed away like a year and a half ago. I can't think of his name, dadgummit.
I know who you're talking about. The name escapes me too, but I always flash back to Jeff Foxworthy. The people don't like Jeff Gordon because Jeff Gordon enunciates. It's like, I'll agree to that. A lot of people didn't. But, it's funny.
This is where we would be called in by O'Hagan, who's still out in Los Angeles. I think he comes home tomorrow. But he's representing on the West Coast out there.
Yes.
On a show with Damian Sandow, Morrison, Seth Skyfire, Dolph Ziggler's little brother, which that guy's a little douche. But I can't even think of his gimmick name, but I think it's something Richie.
Segueing back for a second, you were making a reference to Dark Fury coming on board with Global this week on the 30th. For as much as time has flown, and it really almost feels like it should be this Saturday, because, of course, this Saturday is the 4th Saturday, but we normally go on the last Saturday of the month. So, once again, when you've got 5 Saturdays in, unless something happens, we're going to be on that last Saturday. But once again, we've got a week and a half to go. Dark Fury, I have heard quite a bit about him and really looking forward to getting an opportunity to catch him. And, of course, Xanders has been making a great impression all around the southeastern U.S. and gave a great account for himself in the Triple Threat Middleweight Championship match this past month in Pell City, Alabama, when it was him and the Dream Chaser, Dylan Cook, challenging O'Hagan of the Brotherhood for that middleweight title. Xanders just stole the show from the get-go with the introduction and proved he belonged in that middleweight title hunt back in June.
That was a great match, and I know everybody's excited to see it come around on the YouTube channel. But hold on one second. I've got to kiss a little one here. It's
perfectly fine. Family always comes first. We've always said that.
Good night. Say good night. Good night. She said good night. But, what's a fan club here? But yeah, it should be great to see Dark Fury and Charles Anders, and what a match! Oh my goodness, I have not slept well in a few days. I had a loss in the family, and I don't really want to talk about all that, but it's just been rough trying to get back on a normal schedule after. The worst part of being a professional wrestler is the road, and when you drive 3 hours and 45 minutes by yourself home in the dark, it's not always the easiest task coming home at 65. It's dark and long, and that's you have to keep yourself awake. Very, very tough time there sometimes, but trying to get caught up, and just got a lot of stuff to do this week, and getting ready for the show, man. It's good, and I know that we've talked for the matches, Dark Fury and Charles Anders, but everybody's kind of like, hey, who is Leon the Bull Strusser and Mad Dog's partner to take on the 3 members of the Brotherhood? You got O'Malley, O'Hagan, J.P. McGregor, and I don't know who all else they're gonna be, like the new version of the NWO and just keep adding people. You got Howard Cross back. Legal, but the great thing about GCW Radio is sometimes, it's not just about Easter eggs. It's sometimes we will let people know what's going on that might not find out till the night of the show. And you ask me, it's like, well, who's your partner going to be? I was like, oh, I'm going to say it tonight. And you're like, oh, okay, I thought you might just wait till the show. I was like, no. I think there's some good fans out there listening that inquiring minds want to know. So,
and there's been a lot of speculation, dog. You know that.
There is a lot of speculation. And there was 2 men that said they were ready to go, and I had to choose one that was fully available and ready. And a couple months ago, about 3 or 4 months ago, he said he was ready to hang it up. He thought it's time to just go on to greener pastures, and the real deal AJ Steele will be our partner to take on the team of the Brotherhood. We're talking, he is a former GCW heavyweight champion 2 times, and he's going to be joining up with the World Tag Team Champions and the GCW Heavyweight Champions, and we're going to take on the Brotherhood, whether they got Howard Cross, Veronica freewheeling around or on a hover round or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm ready for these guys, and I'm tired of wrestling them, to be honest. I mean, I know that sounds like something a heel would say, but I mean, why? What else could you bring? I challenge her for no disqualification because they want to bring in chairs and get us disqualified. So, they said yes, so here we go.
Well,
So, July 30th, 6-man tag, no DQ.
I've got to throw this one out there because there is a constant in this situation, in this rivalry, so to speak. And it's not necessarily the resurgence of J.P. McGregor. Longtime GCW fans know him. Triple Crown Plus winner, the last GCW Intercontinental Champion. The man is very, very highly renowned and very well decorated, has earned his stripes. So for those who think J.P. McGregor is a Johnny-come-lately to GCW, do your homework, please. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, and I don't mean that in a mean-spirited way.
No, I mean, there's some fans that have just been coming the last 2 or 3 years and think, okay, this guy's just a referee, he's super kicked in the cage, global warfare. How did he learn to do that? No, this guy's a former GCW heavyweight champion, former, he's a tag team champion many times, and he's held just about every belt there is except for that middleweight division.
Yep. And the flip side of the coin and the constant that I was working towards is what is formerly known as the 5-Star Fight Club, Ewan O'Hagan.
Mm-hmm.
And remembering the fact that, of course, the Showtime Shane Fox was part of the 5-Star Fight Club when situations came into play. Of course, you were there backing up O'Hagan and Showtime Shane Fox, and Fox was unfortunately not able to, has been out of action for quite a while. Life gets in the way sometimes, real life. And, of course, it's all real life depending on how you look at it. But there has always been, even before the 5-Star Fight Club, a running rivalry between you and O'Hagan, whether you're partners, and there have been times when the two of you have been tag team partners and tag team champions and still have not been the best of friends. There's always been a quiet rivalry between the two of you. And it comes to the forefront once again Saturday night, July the 30th in Pell City, with you and your World Tag Team and GCW Tag Team Championship partner, Bull Stresser. And coming back, first time in a long time, the real deal AJ Steele. And there's another wild card in the equation. There is a person in the Brotherhood who continues to fight for respect, who feels like people dismiss him as a weak link, who feels that people overlook him, and has just been waiting on that one moment to really just step to the forefront and shine. And that's Maniac O'Malley of the Brotherhood. I've got to ask you this question. With your 6-man team, with the announcement and the addition of the real deal AJ Steele, do you target Maniac O'Malley, or do you go after McGregor, or I know you're going to go straight after O'Hagan?
Hey, you remember what I did in the cage, and he said he wanted to turn, he wanted to bring out Mad Dog this and that, and as I had him by the back of the skull and ramming it into the cage, it's like, is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? I mean, watch it. I mean, I went in there trying to figure out if I'm going to body slam or powerbomb this guy. I was going to see how many times I could bounce his head off steel and, just see how much I could expose of his skull. Sound like Spicoli off of Fast Times. That was my skull. But no, I mean, I guess O'Malley would be the weak link because we ended up pinning him twice that night. We had the restart, and thank God for the Wicked Nemesis coming down and doing what Little Bob had asked him to do, which was watch out for the best interests of the company, because he knew I knew something was going on when Cross wasn't there. I mean, he thought, hey, last month, I'm talking about last month, I knew he thought, these guys, they're nothing. I'm going to get in their head. I mean, O'Hagan came to the outside after having just a stellar, just amazing box office match. Xanders and Dylan Cook, that was quite the match. And, then he comes out in that main event, and they grab a chair, and, I mean, yeah, we had him. And then they come and swing it, I grab it, I use it, yeah. I'm going to take it away, or do my best to take it away. That's my job. I'm not going to get hit with the chair. I've been hit with the chair a lot. And I don't feel good.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I know you know. Now, like the lady said, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got no time for that. I've got a match to win, and I'm not going to lose these belts to any variation of the Brotherhood.
Now,
I was an original member of the Brotherhood. I was waiting for you to divulge that. I mean, people want to talk about that all the time. Like, oh boy, here we go. He's gonna turn his back on Bull. No, there's so much disdain and dislike for those guys, and anybody they align with, they just like bad apples in a bushel. They're just gonna ruin everything. And like right now, we got Veronica. She's got a legitimate injury, but there's some people really, really irritated with the way things went down with Brooklyn Page and Malaya Husaka,
right?
In which Malaya made the challenge for this month, because you bring anybody you can, and after I beat Brooklyn Page, which you did, bring whoever you got, I'll take them on, and I'm going to beat them too, and then I want a shot at that belt. So Stormy Lee Sloan, part of the Makeup and Muscles, I guess they're besties, little BFFs, Stormy Lee and Veronica. Well, no matter how much muscles or makeup you got, Malaya Husaka's on a mission, and she told me she's ready. She goes, it's been a while since I've held golds, but I feel like it's in the future here at Global Championship Wrestling. So she's got to beat Stormy Lee, and then it looks like we may get to see Malaya versus Veronica, unless she brings a doctor's note. But I don't care if it's from Dr. Kevorkian. We're going to keep an eye out on what's happening, and I want the Athletic Commission to peruse it closely. I want to see it. You want to see it. We're actually called the number on the piece of paper. With Howard Cross, you never know. He might just pull a document up off the internet and sign it himself.
Knowing Cross, this is a scary thought. By the way, love the Kevorkian reference. It's been a while since I've heard that name.
I know. I mean, you know what O'Hagan would have said.
Oh, hell yeah.
He'd have probably said Dr. Ruth. And I was like, she's not alive anymore, I don't think. She might be. Dr. Phil. I don't know.
Dr. Oz?
Yeah. No, he's actually MD, so...
That's scary.
All right. But, yeah, Veronica's foot is bad. She did put pictures up there, and I did see it. I just thought it was some kind of cover-up that she was scared to wrestle, which she better be scared. Malaya is a great wrestler. And, the fans really took to her very fast, kind of like ducks to water.
Yep.
Up in Pell City. But, there's just so much going on. And speaking of Stormy Lee coming in...
Wait. Let's hold up on that one. Because I was going to say, there's a very special point I want to make about the person you're about to mention. But I want to do it after the break. Would you do the honors?
We'll be right back with more Global Championship Wrestling, discussing July 30th in Pell City, Alabama, right after this.
The Mad Dog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
On this 19th day of July, 2016. Welcome back into Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Real quick, a very special thank you to everybody tuning in this evening through BeyondRingside.com, as well as the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry. Through the TuneIn Radio app cross-format, Ustream this evening, and their mobile app. And for those who have not found out, we now have brand new affiliates as part of the network. Being joined on the RadioGuide.fm station list. Thank you very much for adding us onto the board and coming on board yourself, as well as Streama, as well as Radio Shaker. So we are now part of those broadcast families as well. They've added us as an affiliate or colleague, and we've added them as affiliates. So for every time, yes, there's a ton of ways. And for the record, don't forget that the replay of Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio will, of course, be available through the GCW podcast feed as well as YouTube. We will have a slideshow video version available on the GCW and the Beyond Ringside YouTube channels within the next 24 to 36 hours. And of course, it'll be in rotation on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio and ProWrestlingRadio.net. Fast Eddie Lane over here in Studio 1 from the House of Pain, the man himself, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer.
Glad to be back from the break. That way I know people are trying to get the bit to find out what next match we're talking about.
Well, before we do that, I'm gonna swerve you for a second because I made the reference to the House of Pain. People heard the advertisement during the break for Mad Dog's House of Pain. For those now, how often do you open up for new people to come on board to start training?
We can do it any week. Right now, training is 3 to 5 on Sundays. And we've got 5 new students going through right now, but I mean, every Sunday there's like 10 to 12 guys working with you. So, I mean, anytime you're ready to do it, I mean, it is a commitment physically, mentally, financially, but if you want to learn to wrestle, this is the only place to learn in Alabama with a licensed school. So, hey, if you want to do it right, call the Mad Dog's House of Pain.
And if you missed the number during the break, it's 205-567-6482, which is also the number for the GCW front office. And just let them know you're interested in enrolling in the House of Pain because you want to follow your dream of becoming a professional wrestler. Remember, he said it perfectly. It's not only just a financial commitment, it is a physical commitment as well as a mental commitment. When you're ready, he's waiting. Right, dog?
Yeah. There's more and more guys wanting to do it every day, and you've got to really step up and be willing to put in to making your career happen. I mean, there's a lot of things going to it. I love it when guys come to me. It's like, can I be the Mass Falcon or whatever? I'm like, don't you want to learn how to perform first? I mean, it's good that you think about it. I've been studying this guy, and this guy. It's good, but you need to know how to do those things. You don't just start suplexing one day. It just there's pieces of the puzzle, definitely.
And see, this is something that I tell everybody when you consider the idea of getting involved in the business, the sport, and the industry of pro wrestling. You have to be patient with yourself, especially, because you're going to be asking your body to do things that it has probably never done before. I mean, okay, if you've worked as a Hollywood stuntman, okay, you might have an iota of a clue. But if you've never done extremely and extraordinarily physical, now football can help you in a certain way because you can help prepare for the impact. But by the same token, there's more than just that involved. So when you get ready, and this was something that was imparted to me years ago when I first stepped in, you have to be patient with yourself and give yourself physically and mentally an opportunity to get acclimated to everything that's going to be happening to you inside the squared circle. Right, dog?
Yeah, there's a difference between being in shape and in ring shape.
Right.
And until you get in the ring and train, you're not going to know. And I could try to explain it to you, but it wouldn't do any good. If you want to do it, do it. There's nothing stopping you except for air and opportunity. There goes the air, so now you got the opportunity. So let's make it happen. If you want to learn to wrestle, call the school. We'll get you started ASAP.
205-567-6482. We made a reference, and I'm going to take the segue that I laid down the tracks for going into the break. We make a reference to individuals who know how to promote, know how to push appearances and push the show, know how to get the word out there, and are, I don't want to use the word relentless because that always has a negative connotation, and I don't mean for it to, but they know how to be religious in their methodologies for pushing a live event and pushing their appearances. You know, for years, I've been called the Oracle of Shameless Self-Promotion. I earned that degree. I earned that right. I bypassed all the others and went to Oracle because I'd earned it. But this person challenges me to a great degree. But he also has a great in-ring career in progress, having just made the physical move from the Sunshine State of Florida up to the Volunteer State of Tennessee, and he has served his suspension. I'm referring to the King of the Southeast, hashtag Supreme Fachim, Francisco Chiazzo. This man knows how to get on and use social media to its fullest as far as helping to push his upcoming appearances, right, dog?
He does, and he's added a new moniker to himself. He and Stormy Lee have named themselves the Bonnie and Clyde of professional wrestling. The Bonnie and Clyde of professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know that they were gangsters, Bonnie and Clyde, I prefer the Warren Beatty version.
Yep.
Still a classic, good soundtrack. I think A&E or somebody redid it recently in the last few years. But, Francisco Chiazzo and Stormy Lee, they know how to get into the fans' minds. They know how to get into their opponents' minds. And they know how to physically pick someone apart. And, Clyde Braddock, the Grand Design, he is an amazing wrestler.
Yep.
He was a 2-time state wrestling champion in the state of Georgia. He's been a tag team champion here in GCW with Steve Styles. And now Francisco has decided to try to end his career. He wrapped a chain around his neck. It's okay to do whatever you got to do to win. But the match was over. He wanted to specifically target ending Braddock's career. And he laid his hands on an official, but taking a logging chain or an excessively sized chain, wrap it around Braddock's neck, and trying to just snap his neck. And that just went too far, according to the board, and there was bloodshed and all that, but here we are. July 30th, Braddock has been saying everywhere, every week, where it was Rockford, Alabama, or on a show over in Georgia, I'm going to get my hands on Francisco Chiazzo. And it's one thing for the man to say it, but he grabbed me by both shoulders last month, looked me in the eye, he goes, "This is my return match. I wish Frankie was here tonight." And I said, "Yeah, I know. No, you're hearing me. Believe me when I tell you, when I get my hands on Francisco, it's going to be ugly." So, I don't know whether to be worried or, for Braddock's safety or for Frankie, but you reap what you sow in this business. And I know Clyde's ready, without a shadow of a doubt. The question is Francisco ready? He's a battler, and he's a former GCW heavyweight champion. I mean, he's a warrior in amongst men. I mean, he's ready to go. But will we see Simon Says, the Emerald Emperor, at ringside? Will we see Stormy Lee at ringside? We know that Wicked's going to be there with Clyde Braddock. That's first and foremost the thing to happen. We know they're going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
But how many members of the so-called royal family will come to the ring? I mean, come on. In the past, we've seen them bring Tutwiler, Simon Says, Shooter, whatever
Shooter
I
Storm.
call him, the jester of the royal family, and the Queen Stormy Lee. I mean, come on. We've almost got the cast members of the frickin' Brady Bunch out there, the Partridge Family. I mean, how many seconds, guys, do you need to come to the ring? I know you got to have your hype man, and you got to have this. I mean, it's like watching the original UFCs with the Gracie family.
Yep.
They're making the Gracie family train as they come to the ring. It's like, good Lord, how many people do you need ringside? I remember Tutwiler a couple months ago. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not going out there tonight." I was like, Oh, why? Well, they got too many people out there. Are you for real? That's like saying Carrot Top's got too many freckles.
Or Gallagher has too many watermelons.
Yeah, Gallagher and watermelons, exactly. But, or Jeff Foxworthy and redneck jokes. There's, but you never know what you're going to have. And I'm going to sit back and watch these two bulls collide in the middle of the ring on July 30th. I know it's going to be a fight.
Yep.
It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. It's not going to just be a technical match. That's not the one to watch if you were like, well, I'm just waiting for this very technical match tonight. Now, there's going to be a lot of grounding, pounding, punches, going on in that match. So, yeah, it's going to get ugly.
This is a match that in the front of my mind, I really sincerely think that the referees are going to need a suit of armor. Because
Kevlar.
Yeah, pretty much, at least Kevlar, hell. Because when these two lock eyes, there are some matches, and you and I have both done announcing work. We've both done ring announcing work. And there are some matches that, as a feud, to use that word, culminates. You like to be able to be in the ring to do those introductions because in your heart it's going to be a special match. And then in your heart that there's times you don't want to be anywhere near that ring the second these two lock eyes, and it's like, get out of the way, because two bulldozers are about to run smack into each other.
Exactly, with C4 on the front grill.
Exactly.
And that's explosives for those who don't keep up with 24 Jack Bauer and whatnot, or the military blast back.
Oh, great. Now I'm having another moment. Thank you, 24, for all those seasons of great television.
Yep.
And lo and behold, I think they still have one more movie in the works for that franchise. And I wish that the regular television show would have continued, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, going into Saturday night, July the 30th, the Grand Design Clyde Braddock, managed by the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, and of course the King of the Southeast, Francisco Chiazzo, and his entourage. You don't know how deep, I'm going to use the phrase again, what the hell. You don't know how deep that rabbit hole's going to run as far as the King's Court goes. Because Dan said it perfectly. Could be Stormy. Could be Shooter Storm. Could be Simon Says. It could be Tutwiler. It could be almost anybody. It could be somebody you haven't seen in a while. It could be somebody you've never seen escort him down to ringside before. The foundation of professional wrestling is still alive to a great degree. They've just been remarkably quiet.
And that's like the calm before the storm. I've lived through many tornadoes that have come through my area in my life, and my granddad always said there was a calm before the storm. Those guys have been quiet, and that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
That is weird.
There's some individuals who've been a part of that organization that it's like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting.
I know.
Yeah, because there's a bombshell waiting to go off.
Too quiet.
Yep, definitely so. Somebody that you and I both know has not been very quiet. And that is probably one of the more verbose GCW heavyweight champions we've had in a while. And there's a difference between talking a lot, and speaking to the point where you can use every word possible to get your point across.
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to the first class, second to none, third generation superstar, the Dream Killer, and GCW heavyweight champion, Eric Wayne. This guy will use every word possible to get his point across.
And he was on Arcadian this last weekend. He's been on all the Mississippi shows. And he makes sure to come over and always show me that GCW belt. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks good, Eric, you know. No, but you guys, I'm added some heritage, some tradition to this belt. And I'm like, dude, we've had Buff Bagwell as a champion. Scotty Riggs has been a GCW champion. Both guys of WCW tenure. There have been so many people to hold that belt, but he goes, there's never been a third generation superstar held the GCW belt. And he's right. He's right. He is right. And he slid in like a stealth bomber on nobody's radio. Those who knew who he was, big props, big respect. Those who didn't were like, I had one of the fans say this, or I'm just going to use the quote. She goes, who's the fella that looks like he's trying to be Vampire Lestat from Interview with a Vampire? I said, that's third generation superstar Eric Wayne. And then I had a lady say, he's got a Major Domo outfit on. And I'm like, are you talking about like the leader of a band? I mean, she said, where's his little hat like Timothy B. Mouse on Dumbo? I'm like, wow. You guys have really done some serious thinking out here.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I wish I could have recorded these folks. I'm just sometimes put in a position, I was just like, get past his ring attire, coming to the ring, and watch him go.
Yep.
I mean, Buddy Wayne is a name very synonymous, very famous up in Tennessee, Memphis. He was part of the Jerry Jarrett, who is Jeff's daddy, and Bill Dundee, and Jerry Lawler in one of the greatest times of professional wrestling in the 80s, where you had Handsome Jimmy Valiant, or the Boogie Woogie, before he was the Boogie Woogie Man. You had Wayne Ferris, Danny Davis, who everybody knows is a Nightmare, and, Kenny Wayne, Eric Stad. I mean, there's some deep generational stuff going on. This guy didn't just pop up last week. He was handing out flyers in 6 and 7 years old, putting buildings together in Puerto Rico, working for Carlos Colon, Carlito's dad. The roots run so deep.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I know, but these, I've been to dinner with him, and he is a very philosophical young man. He's in his 30s, but he loves this business. And he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way right now in Arcadia, and he was talking about this Saturday night. He goes, he's made some mistakes. He's rubbed some people the wrong way in professional wrestling because he has a sense of entitlement. He's had championships everywhere, but, he said he's going back and he's trying to repair some of those places that he rubbed people wrong. And I was like, okay. Just going to sit back and watch. But, he came in and people said, well, he stole one from Spiral using the fireball. Well, a win's a win's a win. Film's been looked at. He beat him. He's the current champion. And now Spiral's getting his first chance. This is his first chance. You don't want to miss this. July 30th, a chance to win back what he fought to receive. Now, I got to say this, Eric Wayne, and he likes to go, I heard about that last August, man. I hated about that. You're one of the few guys I've ever known that had to relinquish a title because of your health. And I was just like, yeah, thanks, buddy. Let's rub some salt in a wound or whatever. But I did what was best for the company on professional wrestling and global championship wrestling. and I do not regret that one bit. Spiral's the champ. He's taken on Eric Wayne, and I want to just see a great match. I mean, it's one of those things you want to sit back and watch the security monitor and just be entertained, because these boys are great wrestlers. Eric Wayne, third generation. Everybody knows what Spiral can do. You've seen him fly. You've seen him come off the top of a cage on tables on top of me. You've seen him come off the top. Hell, send me to the emergency room for real. He's a dangerous, highly skilled individual. He's got good martial arts skills, but Eric Wayne, with his international travels, has done every style there is, from lucha libre to pro wrestling over in Japan. I mean, he's got an amazing skill set to steal a line from you. I mean, he is what professional wrestling should be. Technically, he's solid. He's quick. He's fast. He can adapt to style, and it's going to be a battle. I'm looking forward to sitting and seeing that match. I'm looking forward to the 6-man with the Brotherhood, with AJ Steele as my partner with Bull Stresser. I'm looking forward to seeing Clyde Braddock and Francisco Chiazzo, and I'm looking forward to Malaya Osaka and Stormy Lee, and it's going to be a great night. We talked about Dark Fury and Charles Anders. What a match that's going to be in itself, but we have a lot to look forward to. July the 30th, we're going to be back on the air next Tuesday night for the GCW Radio. We'll cover the rest of the card. Anyone who's reached out to me on my family loss, I thank you very much, and I appreciate Eddie. I'm just going to pull the curtain back a little bit. You asked me if I still wanted to do it. I said, yes, I need it. I need to think about wrestling, because wrestling has gotten me through bad points in life. It's caused some bad points in life, too, with injuries and whatnot, but it helps me. It's what my passion is. I love it. This is what I do. This is not just, I'm a weekend warrior once a month somewhere. I mean, as well as I do, when I came back in January, everybody was just expecting, you just wrestle on GCW, but, I've been traveling a lot as of late, so I'm putting in some time. I want to be the best Mad Dog I can be. I want GCW to be the best it can be, and we've got a measuring stick that's there, so we just got to maintain. We draw the biggest crowds around. I mean, it's good when the owner of Arcadian, which is a huge company in Tennessee, says, how does GCW do it? And it's not just one thing. It's not just two things. It's about 20 things, and being consistent and making it happen, and having a publicity team, and having this radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, and Back to Basics, and To Be Determined with Wicked Nemesis and Mark Bowman, all the guys that are out there that call in, that push this. It's huge. So thank you to all of them, and I appreciate all the wrestlers. Appreciate you guys. They don't always say it, because they're just sometimes too caught up in their own mind. Not that they're egos, it's just they don't think about what all it takes to pull something off. And we really do appreciate it. I speak for all of them when I tell you that. So this radio program is a blessing, and I know you work hard, and you have to bust your butt during the day to get home and make sure that we've got our guests lined up on our format, and it's always fun once we get it going, but I appreciate your extra efforts that you go to make this thing happen. And for all those listening out there live and recorded later, thanks for listening to GCW Radio, because without you guys, there would be no us.
Agreed.
Now Michelle Obama's going to call in and say I plagiarized something right there. I just had to be funny. I was too serious for a minute, so.
Lord help me. We actually got a political reference. By the way, I will be running for governor for the state of Alabama the next through the cycle. I will not be running on the Republican ticket. I will not be running on the Democratic ticket. I will be running on a parking ticket because I'd like to park my ass in Montgomery for 4 years and make PAC money.
Okay.
That's all there is.
Man, I've got a lot going on. I thank you for letting us get together tonight.
Dude, it's always a pleasure.
Next Tuesday.
Definitely. Let me run down the closing credits real quick. Folks, remember GCWPro.com is the home for all things Global Championship Wrestling. Facebook.com/GCWPro. Daryl B., thank you for hanging out in the chat room tonight. Great to have you on board. Remember, of course, YouTube.com. Global Championship Wrestling. Here's the easy way. You can look up Global Championship Wrestling, but it's youtube.com/GCWPro Wrestling. Unless they've changed it again. If it is, I'll incorporate it into the slideshow and put something up on the Facebook fan page. At GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter. Also on Instagram. We are working to make strides for Periscope as well as Snapchat in the very near future. So if you have Snapchat, Saturday, July 30th, we're going to have a little surprise for you. And that's all I'm going to say at this point.
I like surprises.
Oh, yeah, this one's going to be a good one, too. Put it this way. For those who have Snapchat, you know what geofilters are. We got one coming your way, Saturday, July 30th in Pell City. What it's going to be, not going to tell you yet. You'll have to be in Pell City to know, because it's going to be specifically for the Pell City Civic Center, not the entire complex, but the Civic Center building itself. So you got to be there for this one. Folks, we're going to call it...
It's not Pokemon.
Oh, good grief, no. I think I just vomited in my mouth. Next thing you know, they're going to...
I really don't have time for that.
You win that one. Yeah, I'm just waiting for... There's so many I would like to use. Hey, you can do it. You can do a Pokemon for extinct bird characters. Pokedodo. Somebody put a graphic up on Facebook a minute ago, and I just happened to see it. Pokemon Go actually stands for Pokemon Global Offensive, where the Japanese are using our GPS systems in our phones to help hurt us into places where bombing will be easy. It's like, okay, look, if that's the case and somebody wants to easily bomb me, I got one word for you: Jägermeister. I'll get bombed every time on that. I'm good to go. I'm over 21.
Jäger bomb.
Jäger bomb. There you go. Got the Red Bull, too. We'll talk later. Matter of fact, we'll have that for the cookout on Saturday. But, folks, we'll be back on Tuesday, July 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net. The replay, we're going to have it posted all up and down the network. And we'll hope you join us. Definitely. It's a lot of fun. Chat room will be open. For my tag team partner, the one, the only, the Mad Dog Dan Sawyer.
I will be traveling again tomorrow, so I look forward to being back next Tuesday with you guys. And everybody be safe and have a good rest of the week. And listen to Be Determined tomorrow night. Parental guidance is suggested. But get on in there and listen to the wild man of radio, the Oracle of Ominous, Mr. Wicked Nemesis.
I am the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane saying until next time, join us right here as we go ringside and beyond with Global Championship Wrestling. Bye for now.